Thank you, Acting President. I wish to speak briefly to the Great Ocean Road Protection Bill. A bill which underlines the importance of one of Victoria's greatest assets that I'm sure that we all over our time have driven. Some of us have cycled it over the journey. We're often taking drives down the Great Ocean Road, having lived down that area for a number of years, and as a matter of fact, we're going down there this long weekend, down to Bimby Park, using those environments, and it's just fantastic down there. So I would like to start off by stating that we as Darren Hitch's Justice Party will be supporting this bill. The importance of the Great Ocean Road cannot be overstated. The economic and environmental importance of the region is truly immeasurable. After all, the road itself was driven on by 6.1 million international and domestic tourists who spent around $1.4 billion in the year ending March 2019. At the core of this bill is the establishment of the Great Ocean Road Coast and Parks Authority, an authority which will play an integral role in this decision-making on behalf of the region. I'd like to state early on that I support the establishment of this authority, but my support is contingent on the authority actually working in the region's interests. It should be noted that the vast bulk of regional planning considerations stay with the local councils and the relevant minister. This is understandable. Councils and departments are best resourced to determine intricate planning requirements. It should also be noted that while not outlined in the bill, the chairperson of the new authority board will most likely be selected by the minister and then the cabinet. It is my hope that this is not purely a symbolic or political appointment, but instead a constructive appointment. While I support this bill and what it seeks to achieve, there should not be another opportunity for our metropolitan counterparts telling regional people how to live, trade and travel. This should be an authority which actively seeks community input. This should be an authority which actively hosts and respects members of the community, whether they be residents or local business owners. And this is exactly what the amendments which I will circulate intend to do so. And I might ask now for those amendments to be circulated.
Okay, the amendments will be available to pick up on the table for those that want.
Thank you, Acting President. All too often we in this chamber pass bills which impact the way people and businesses function without hearing what needs to be improved. Making decisions with people, not on behalf of them, is essential if the authority is to function in the region's interest. Local residents within the relevant municipalities should be given equal or similar regard as the Indigenous owners and the various authorities, and be involved early in the strategic planning process. And while the government may argue that the board should be comprised of people selected on a skills basis, I believe there should be a mandated requirement for locals to be installed to the authority board. Now, I understand that the minister argues that there is a follow-up bill to come, supposedly for drafting reasons. The government is introducing two separate bills to legislate similar changes. This is understandable, but I cannot simply wave through one bill on the promise that another will compensate for this bill's shortcomings. This legislation has nearly no provisions to include the local residents in decision-making. While the bill doesn't actively prevent community involvement, it doesn't seek it or mandate it either. We did have previous amendments to other clauses in the bill. We had an amendment to clause 27 of the bill, which we sought to insert persons, at least one of whom must be a local resident or business owner from within the municipal district of a relevant municipal council. That would have ensured that the new Great Ocean Road Coast and Parks authorities had to consult with the public by mandating it, complementing point 3 of our old amendments, which required the authority to formally engage with local residents and business owners. And it was pleasing to hear that the government has introduced a House amendment on the lines of engaging with local communities in the development of public land management plans and local policies that are of particular relevance to that community, and to report publicly on such engagement. And to have such an amendment mandated in this regard is significant, and I thank the government for considering our previous amendments in this matter in drafting their House amendments. The bill proposes the following constitution of the Great Ocean Road Authority Board. This board consists of a chairperson, a deputy chairperson, and a nominee from each specified Aboriginal party and other directors. The board must consist of no more than 12 directors. While our amendments do not seek to alter the number of the people on the board, it is important that local business owners and residents are represented on the board. Our proposed amendments to clause 56 mandate the need for the board to include at least 3 local residents and 3 business owners from within a municipal district of the relevant municipal councils. And I shall talk about that later. Once again, as businesses and residents are primary stakeholders in the region, they should be represented in the new board, which is supposedly going to perform a central role in decision-making for the region. I welcome all sides of the chamber to support our amendments, and like I said, I'll discuss these later on during the committee phase. But in the meantime, I thank the House, and we will be supporting this bill.
Thank you, Mr Grimley. Ms Barth.
Thank you, Acting President. Acting President, I'm pleased to make